Happy New Year, everyone. Today is January 2nd, the second day of our Life Point Cup NT40 challenge. So, did you start reading the Bible from the New Testament? If not, I think you can still catch up to day 2, right? So, I encourage you to start reading today as soon as you read or as soon as you watch this video. So we are continuing on to read the Gospel of Matthew, which is the first book of the New Testament. And I wanted to give you a short introduction to the Gospel of Matthew as we are reading that book. So let me open my Bible, and it is written by Matthew, as the name says, and he is a tax collector. He is a sinner. And we see that in Matthew 9, from verses 9 to 13, the verses for today, that Jesus records about him meeting Matthew. So I was like, Matthew, you're writing about himself and you wrote your name down on your book. So it was kind of funny. I had fun. So here, the whole Gospel, Matthew, he is writing specifically, of course, all of us in mind, but Jews in mind. And he wanted to let the Jews know that Jesus came, and as Jesus is the Messiah, and that he is the fulfillment of all the promises that God has given them throughout the Old Testament, especially Jews, as they knew the covenant and the promises. And even as Jesus, as one who teaches, and not only like the scribes, or not only that he's sharing the words, but with authority. And even the Great Commission at the end of the Gospel of Matthew, that Matthew gives to Jews. Okay, that's the Great Commission because of who Jesus is that we need to be doing. So, as I said, the main theme of the Gospel of Matthew is Jesus is the Messiah. So he wants us to know that Jesus is the promised one. He is the Christ. He is the anointed one of God who came for us. And some others say, or even as you read through the gospel, I think your heart will be moved of what Jesus has done through his teachings and recordings. So some say this is the gospel of the heart. We see God's heart through this gospel. So I want you to hone into that and read it. Also, another will say this is the gospel of discipleship. So as Jesus calls disciple, as Jesus, the structure of the Matthew is based upon 5 long discourses. So he teaches, and then there are some follow-ups to that teaching. So it's a discipleship manual. Gospel of Matthew is discipleship manual. So let me read some key verses, all right? So I think it will be really important for you to, as you read in next days or two, that when you run into these verses, underline, highlight, and circle, and read. So one of them is Matthew 16:16. I think it's very important. And it says this, Simon Peter replied, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." So Simon Peter, he says, Jesus, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And also, one of my favorite verses in the Gospel of Matthew is Matthew 16:24. In that same chapter, as soon as Peter says, "You are the Son, you are the Christ," and Jesus says, then Jesus told his disciples, "If anyone would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me." So Jesus wants us to follow him, taking up our cross. And that's a verse that I want you to meditate and think or underline as you read. And then, of course, we cannot forget the Great Commission, right? The last verses of the Matthew. So Matthew 28:18-20, it says this, "And Jesus came and said to them, 'All authority in heaven and earth has been given to me. Go, therefore, and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. And behold, I am with you always to the end of the age.'" All right, so today is the only 2. All right, day 2. Please continue to read. It's a challenge. I want to challenge you to read the whole New Testament in 40 days. And today is Saturday. As you are spending time at home, I want you to prepare your heart for the first Sunday service, which is happening tomorrow at 11:30. All right? Continue to read. Bye.